Wizards of the Coast just made a huge mistake with their upcoming Stranger Things secret lair, and as a result, they have enraged a lot of Magic players.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The Magic Historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings! Owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends, I hope the day finds you well, because we've got a head scratcher on our hands right here. Wizards of the Coast has made a serious mistake when it comes to the Stranger Things secret lair. A situation that I honestly wouldn't really have conceived ever happening with Magic the Gathering. Now, on the surface of it, Wizards of the Coast already knew they were going to get some backlash over the Stranger Things secret lair because it is a mechanically unique secret lair built on a television show. And none of these cards exist in any other form. So there are certain people who play Magic who get really frustrated about this concept, and that's perfectly understandable. If you're somebody who thinks that mechanically unique cards should be available in multiple different venues, I agree with you. But the situation we have here actually adds an extra layer to it, and somebody at Wizards of the Coast is going to be getting a stern talking to, because the problem we're going to focus on actually just revolves around one particular card in this secret lair, as opposed to the fact that it is a mechanically unique secret lair. So, first things first, let's have a little quiz mini game. I'm going to put the card that is a problem up on the screen for you. We'll go through the card, and as we're doing so, see if you can pick out what it is that has people upset, because when I first looked at the card, I didn't see it. So the card we're dealing with is Will the Wise, and this is 1 black and 1 white for a 1/2 legendary human. There's just something about like 1/2 and legendary is just kind of like, how legendary? I'm just down here with a little spaghetti noodle. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a whack in the face. Anyways, the 1/2 thing, I don't know. It's just something about that combining with legendary. So it says, when Will the Wise enters or leaves the battlefield, each opponent may investigate. Each opponent who doesn't loses 1 life. You investigate X times, where X is 1 plus the number of opponents who investigated this way. And that is a bit of a weird ability. When you look at it, you're like, okay, so if I'm playing like a 4-player game, I could theoretically end up getting 4 investigation tokens, or having each of my opponents lose a life and getting 1 investigation token. Like, it doesn't really feel like that strong of a card. It has the Friends Forever ability, which is all across almost all the cards in this secret lair. It's just partner, right? It's just partner renamed, so you can't actually use these with other partner cards that can only be partnered together as Friends Forever. So, have you managed to figure out what the problem with the card is yet? Probably most of you who haven't already heard about this from somebody else are sitting there going, well, wait, what's the problem with this card? Well, the problem actually resides in the artwork. Now, in the forefront, we've got Will. He looks just totally fine. But the problem is in the background. When you actually take a look at the letters that are best spelled out in the background, it goes, okay, wait a minute. H-O-M, all right, on one side of his head. Then you go to the other side, and there's an O, and then no more letters. And you go, oh, what? You can't have that on a Magic card, buddy. You can't be putting stuff like that on a Magic card. So obviously, from the get-go, people's alarm bells started to ring over this, and then an extra layer came into it where I'm not somebody who watches the Stranger Things show, so this information is secondhand. But apparently, this character is more interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons than trying to go out and meet girls and get a girlfriend or whatever. So the other kids tease him about, oh, you're not into girls or whatever. So when you take that whole, and it's not like the show said that he's not specific, like he doesn't like girls at all. It's just, as far as I understand, he's more interested in his hobbies and things like that. And I mean, people are late bloomers. It can take a while before your interest in girls suddenly appears, or your interest in guys, whatever it's going to be. But either way, essentially, some people took this to mean that this character isn't into girls, period, and likes other boys. So when people already think that, and they see what's going on in the background of this artwork, they start going, oh, I can't believe you would do this, Wizard. How would you blatantly slap a label like this above this poor boy? And I mean, my initial reaction to this is multiple initial reactions all balled into one. First of all, there's no way this is intentional. Like, there is zero chance this is intentional. That was my first thought. And my second thought was, still, how do you let this happen? Like, how do you allow this to happen in this day and age with a company that trumpets itself as like a paragon of diversity and inclusion? To have that straight up in the artwork of your card is amazingly lead-brained, to put it lightly, right? So, basically, I'm going to show you now the full art of the card, okay? So this was the art that was sent to Wizards before it got cropped down for the card. So when you take a look at it, you can see that that's not what they were going for, clearly, all right? The banner is supposed to actually be spelling homecoming, okay? That's the idea behind it. Although, take a look at Will's head and take a look at the position of the lettering. The way the pennants are, they're basically going to be on either backside of his head with enough space for an extra like letter or something to go in there, which makes no sense because the whole banner is supposed to say homecoming, but it's like too long and weird. The actual logistics of it behind his head don't work. But ultimately, if you look at this artwork, you can see that what Wizards wanted the artwork to say was home mom. So it really wasn't meant to be what they're saying there. It was meant to be smack talking your mother, right? And so to me, this whole scenario is absolutely incredible. It boils down to whoever's in charge of cropping down the artwork, right? Because that's how it works. Wizards of the Coast gets all kinds of different sizes of artwork made. In some cases, they actually have multiple cards worth of artwork all done in one big piece, and they trim it down to make it fit. So that's what's happened here. They've taken this bigger artwork and they've trimmed it down in a way that is guaranteed to get whoever is in charge of cropping these cards in a lot of trouble. I mean, what's your excuse going to be? Well, you know what? It was $4.59 on a Friday and went bloom, bloom, good enough. Send it off. Like, there's going to be a new policy at Wizards of the Coast, I guarantee it, where from now on, when cards are cropped and finalized, you have to take a look at all of the letters and words that might show up in the artwork and make sure that they're not going to cause any problems, right? This will definitely become a policy going forwards because there's no way that they're just going to shrug it off and go, because there are a ton of people right now who are rabidly just going off about this online. And I feel like the reaction is honestly over the top. I think the appropriate reaction to this is to go, man, you guys really messed up. This is way more of a screw up than when you had the Godzilla Space Corona kind of thing going on, right? That card was more of a, hey, we made the card and then this happened in the world. Whereas this situation is, it's blatant. I mean, it's not so blatant that it jumps out at everybody right away. Clearly, I didn't know until somebody else pointed this out to me. But this is something that's avoidable. It should have been caught, and there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for making this. To me, the people online should calm down a notch because there's zero chance that this is Wizards of the Coast trying to send a message or do something edgy or whatever. I guarantee you, this is 1000% a mistake on Wizards of the Coast's part. And luckily for them, there is a way to fix this because these are secret Lair cards. And because Wizards of the Coast doesn't really print a ton of these in advance, they're going to be able to correct most of these cards. As far as I understand, the way Secret Lair works is when they announce the Secret Lairs and they get ready for the first wave of orders, they have some of these bundles already printed out and ready to go. So if you're one of the first people to order them, boom, you can get your Secret Lair cards super quick. And if you're somebody who orders later, you have to wait while they print them to demand. So all of the print to demand ones can simply have the artwork either recropped or slightly modified. They can change what it says on the banner. There is clearly an easy way to fix this. So this isn't going to be something that's going to make it out into the wild with the exception of the first number of copies. And it's theoretically possible that Wizards may pull back all of the secret layers of that nature, or they may just pull out the Will the Wises from them, ship them out, and say a follow-up Will the Wise will be coming afterwards. But either way, you have to admit, this is hilariously stupid. Like, you have to be asleep at the wheel to allow something like this to happen. And it is most assuredly newsworthy. So let me know your thoughts, my friend. Big thank you to all my patrons, and I will see you guys next time.